Obsessed podcast. We'll be sitting down with a fresh guest each week. Someone who shares the same kayak fishing passion that runs through our veins. We're talking kayak anglers, kayak companies, lure experts. Heck, anyone who's got a story to tell about landing the big ones from a kayak. We're setting our sights on becoming the #1 kayak fishing podcast in the world. You'll get a chuckle, a grin, and hey, maybe even a belly laugh. Because we believe in the power of humor. But above all, we're here to educate and inspire. So, whether you're a seasoned kayak angler or just dipping your toes into this exhilarating world, join us on the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast. It's time to reel in adventure, camaraderie, and the joy of the catch. Here's your host, Darren Windle.
Yeah. Welcome, fish freaks, to episode number 127 of the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast, your ultimate source for all things kayak fishing. Wyatt, we have a banger of a show tonight. I'm fired up about this one. We have a returning
I'm
guest.
excited for this one.
I know you gotta catch some smallmouth.
Yeah, this is like the opposite. I like fishing out in the middle of the lakes and stuff, and he's back up in the creeks.
Yeah, he is. Hopefully, get some juice. Right, returning guest. Absolutely gets it when it comes to small water. And so you guys know him as John Dalton from Creek Fishing Adventures. And we're going to be diving headfirst into one of my favorite topics, best creek and river baits for 2026. Creeks, in my opinion, and rivers are like still some of the most underrated fisheries in America. Tonight, we're breaking down the baits that flat out get hammered. So buckle up, grab a notebook, and let's get obsessed because creek fishing in 2026 is about to get dialed. Before we go there, special thanks to the sponsor of the show, Dark Horse Tackle. And so in the box this week, I'm pretty excited about this one. This is going to be a Dark Horse lure. This is the Black Label Balsa with the fat, flat, classic computer chip bill. And for those who watched the channel earlier in the 2025 season, I slayed smallmouth, caught my personal best brown trout, out of the Mad River with this thing. So appreciate you. Thank you so much, Dark Horse Tackle, for making that experience possible. And what I love about all these baits that come in these boxes, if you guys have never had a Dark Horse Tackle box before, these are baits I actually use, right? Not baits that end up going onto the pegboard and me forgetting about them. This is a nice balsa bait. So if you never tried these out, head over to darkhorsetackle.com. Enough of all that stuff. John, Wyatt, welcome to the show. How you guys doing?
What's going on, man?
Doing great. Ready to talk.
Ready to talk. No, it's gonna be a good show. I just got done being on the road for forever last week. Man, that was fun. For those of you who missed it, 2,700 miles. I did this like factory tour. So back before I did the work that I do now as a full-time content creator, I was a VP of philanthropy for a nonprofit, and it was all about relationship building, right? And if anybody knows anything about the fishing industry, it's all about relationships. It's like, you know what? I'm sitting up here. It was -19 when I woke up this morning, wind chill. Like, oh my gosh. I need to go south. 2, I need to build relationships. 3, there's a lot of factories and ways things are done that I'm just literally ignorant to. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out to Yak Tech. Love to do a factory tour there. And then I looked around what's nearby there. I was like, oh, Cashin, my favorite rods. And so I'll go in and do a factory tour there. And then after that, stop by Missile Baits. And then after that, stop by, where do we go next? Oh, Bonafide and Big Adventures to do a factory tour there. And then drove all the way down to Eufaula, which was a 9-hour drive from Bonafide or Cashin, and visited the Hummingbird factory, which not a lot of videos coming out of the Hummingbird factory. I had to sign some NDAs, had to sign all kinds of stuff, folks. And so there's going to be a review process for that video, but I believe I'm going to be bringing y'all something that no one's seen before because they don't allow people to really video what I videoed. So this is.
Wait, are you allowed to show this?
It has to go through the review process.
Yeah,
I can't show it now. I literally have to edit it, and then I have to send it off to them. They're like, "Oh, yeah, well, you got it. That was too zoomed in. You can't show." It was wild.
If you want to accidentally send any of that stuff over on
right.
Sorry, I meant to send that to somebody else.
I think Wendell stuck in a camera that he didn't tell him that he had on. He's just like walking around.
Oh my gosh, it's all right here, folks. If you were to break into my house, everything you need to know is one of those micro SD cards.
There's only one or two SD cards around your house, right?
Yeah, just one or two. So it's gonna be good. I got the Bonafide factory tour edited, and it's gonna go live at 10 o'clock on Thursday.
Yep.
There's a whole lot I didn't know about rotomolding. John, do you ever have a chance to go over there and see that factory, or Wyatt?
No, I've never been in there.
I've been to the Yak Attack one. That's the only one.
Oh, you've been in the Yak Attack where they make them all? All right, freaking sweet. They treated us real good. Wade Clements had us over to his house the night before. We had a filet mignon. So if he ever invites you to stay at his house, do it. Don't go get a hotel. Take him up on it. My gosh, treated my cameraman Jake and I like kings. That was awesome. The roto molding process was awesome. I think that video came out perfect too. Yeah. So look forward to that. And then Cashin. I guess I really didn't know how fishing rods were made. Like, I've always heard of mandrels and blanks and all this stuff, but actually seeing it made from the pre-preg, which didn't make any sense to me, so I saw it in person, all the way to where they cook them in the ovens to, when they ship out the door, all here in the U.S. That was fascinating. So I was actually editing that one today, and it'll go out next Thursday. So I had a freaking crazy week. KFast videos are done. We're doing the testing on that. That's probably going to go live here in a couple of weeks after we get the testing done and get, stickers made and get I just keep talking. Anyways, it's freaking crazy. I'm glad it's not fishing season because I'd be pissed off right now that all y'all are fishing, not me. John, what you been up to? You've been on the road.
Yeah, last week I had this big trip. I'm like, I'm going to start out. So my plans for this year, I'm going into my 10th year of YouTube. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do all the things I've always wanted to do. Kicked off the year, went to Reelfoot Lake. It's on the opposite side of Tennessee for me.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to catch all these crappie. These videos are going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have so much content. 3 days over there. Got one video from the whole 3 days. I think 4 crappie the whole time.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was like three nights of, Airbnb spent, all the, 5.5 hours drive there and back. Man. So, I may be quitting YouTube soon. So,
oh my gosh, that's brutal. So what's that lake known for? Like, just insane amount of crappie? What's going on? It's like
the best crappie lake in the world.
What happened?
Like, supposedly. But so I've never been there, obviously, and that, like, it was on my list, and I was like, but what I heard though, it's like totally different in the summer than it is in the winter. Like, winter can be like really, really hard. And it was a lake that was formed in 1810 by an earthquake that like sunk in, and it's crazy history over there to it. But and then it's like only natural lake in Tennessee. It's all shallow. It's like this big, shallow, 10-foot. Most of it's like 3 foot deep, like the whole thing.
Oh, it's like Ohio.
But I got some amazing like scenery. There's all kinds of eagles. There's like cypress trees everywhere. It was brutal of a trip.
Sorry, man. That sucked. Reelfoot?
Yeah.
Wyatt, have you ever fished that?
I've never fished that one. I was watching the video. It looked beautiful. It looked like a caddo or a santee with the trees and stuff everywhere.
Yeah, it was worth the trip. Like, I mean, I still enjoy. I try to enjoy every trip I go on, and get something out of it.
But they were having a good time.
Yeah, it's nice to catch something when you have a fishing trip.
Justin Faircloth over here in the comments. Granada Lake is the go-to spot for crappie. I don't even know where that's out. Samuel Warden, at least you guys found some backwater and caught some fish, some awesome footage. I need to go check that out.
Yeah, I got a lot of B-roll, a lot of B-roll in that video.
10 years on YouTube, and you're only like a few thousand away from 200,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you're watching. Need 4,000 more to go.
All 4,000 of you listening live right now.
Yeah, all y'all.
Let's get them over the over the hump tonight. So, interesting enough, I just got, if you're on YouTube in the back end office, I mean, the dashboard, it's like, hey, mine just popped up at 2. I'm at 5 years. It's like, man, it goes by so freaking fast. It's like, I can't believe it's been 5 years. So I got some time I need to catch up. I'll be catching up to you, John. I hope to hit 100,000 silver play button this summer. And I'm sure here just in a couple months, you'll be 200,000. Unfortunately, you don't get any type of play button for that, do you?
No, I think 100,000, then I got to get the million. So
no, just $1 million.
you know,
Oh,
I don't know about that
40
one.
years later.
Yeah, exactly.
Goodness. Wyatt, have you been hammering them? I saw a photo pop up in my feed, and I don't know if it was like an older photo or if it was recent.
That was from last week. I got a couple hours and I ran out the lake and caught back-to-back 7. I caught like a 707 and a 727.
And we all hate
and then catfish, and more catfish.
2 back-to-back 7-pounders.
Yeah.
A 7-pounder is my personal best here in Ohio, and here he is catching them back-to-back.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to go fishing.
You telling you went screaming by here. And
I did. I honestly thought about it. Oh man, this is wild. Like literally, what would happen? I would drive 9 hours, get up the next morning, film from like 8 to 12, drive to the next location, get in at like 8 or 9, and wash, rinse, repeat for 5 days straight. I actually did get some fishing in. Got my first bass of 2026 down on Lake Gunnersville. So I went out with both of the Hoovers, Austin and Chad. And it was a windy day. It was a nasty day. They probably wouldn't have went if I didn't press it so hard. It's like, I need to catch a fish. And I didn't actually catch it on Gunnersville. I went back in this little cove, and Chad's like, hey, if you look on your map, there's like it's like a quarry. So if you get out of your kayak and walk up, you can walk around this quarry and you can fish it. And I popped 4 in like an hour. I was like, oh man, you haven't caught a fish in a month and a half. I tell you what, just the smell of them, like take a hit off them. My goodness, it was amazing. All right, where are we at? Tonight's show tonight, best creek and river fishing baits of 2026. And Wyatt and John and I were texting today, and Wyatt's like, oh yeah, I need to learn that creek and river game. So here we are. John, welcome back. For the folks who caught your last episode, which was a while ago, what's changed the most for you in creek and river fishing since we last talked? It would have been it was 8 months or so. I think I had since I've had you on.
Yeah. This is what, third time? Oh yeah, third time's a charm. This is gonna be the best one. Best one, I'm sure. I don't what's changed. I think a lot more people are fishing creeks and rivers. They're going shallower. Now I just did a whole river build, kayak river setup thing where I cut up an Old Town 120 top water, the paddle version, and put a motor on the back of it. Why? I don't know if you've seen. I've never seen a video of anybody doing one except for Jake. Jake did one, and I had the idea forever. And when they were on sale, I bought one. Bought it myself. It's like $1,100 delivered to my house when they were on sale because they were dropping them. And then I'm like, I love this kayak, so I put a motor on it. And then that's another thing. Is like last year, I think it was the first time I had a motor, like in the summer. So this year, starting out, I'm going to be like being able to run up rivers and creeks and get into a lot more little tighter accesses. Yeah. Just the lighter kayaks with motors, the more access you can get into little spots. So I think a lot of people are coming around to it, but I always say though about rivers and creeks is still whenever you go through there, you're going to be able to come across the most wildest unfished for fish that you're anywhere that you can fish. I mean, you go around Gunnersville and there's 17 boats going on the same bank every day. You catch fish, but I'm just talking about like pure wild and
pretty aggressive.
Not used to people and more aggressive usually because the way it sets up. But
and there's a lot you can actually throw in order to catch them. Like you don't have to get all wild and crazy with your baits. They haven't seen a lot of these fish don't see too many baits very often. And
I think it's easier to throw anything and catch more fish there because they're more reactive. They're all fighting for each other, and everyone's different. And some people will take like say skinny small waters like these big rivers. Big rivers are totally different, but like these small skinny stuff is
get the whole panel laughing here real fast. Chad Hoover, it's like picking up girls in the Appalachia. Yeah. Whew. I don't even know what to do. Where do we go from there, folks? I don't know. No, I love my buddy Jake is actually in the comment section. Daring about Unleash the Beast on the rivers here. That is true. Jake and I go out midweek and there's a bunch of rivers around us, and man, they're just loaded. I remember going out and being like, we would catch 30, 40 smallmouth on a 7-mile float together. And that wasn't like the season where that's not like even into spring. So when spring comes around, I plan on hammering them. I love it. What did you cut up again, John? You said you bought something and then you cut it up.
The 120 top water.
Yeah, I got the 120 top water, and it's like I guess it was kind of made before motors. Everything's made for motors, but I'd had one, and I always thought it handled amazingly compared to like the RVR and the Shoaly and stuff. I thought it fit right in there, and so I cut a hatch in the back, put a hatch in it, put a motor mount on the plastic. I took the regular steering and I modified it for foot steering. And then I put an anchor on the front. I got an anchor coming off, and I'm like, that's going to be my. And it's a very comfortable kayak, very great, still maneuverable, still not too heavy to drag. And I plan to kind of just be my river kayak, skinny water river kayak this year.
Yep.
How many river kayaks do you have? I was at your house.
Well, I probably have got. I've sold like 3 recently. I've been going through them. My goal is, I want to use one for 6 months to a year, and then try something else. There's too many kayaks out there. I got to try them all. So. I'll sell a few. I'll go buy them either myself or talk to some company into giving me one. And so either way, I'm going to get them. I've bought some on my Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, John Dalton, the only YouTuber with 200,000 subscribers who still buys his kayaks.
Right.
I love it.
That's
keeping it real, folks. He's just keeping it real.
That's what I want to do. Can't get it. I'll just buy it.
I mean, non-biased for that one. Yeah.
No, I get it. I love it. I just
take
bought
that
one
all the time, all day long.
And I bought one. I literally did a video on it, and I was like, this thing's too cramped. It was the LT, and I sold it all within like 2 weeks. I was like, you know what? That's the hustle. That's the side hustle of being a content creator. What kind of motor you got on that bad boy, John?
The NK 180
Pro.
Yeah, the Pro one.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll run about 5 miles an hour. I'd like to try the 300 at some point, but
yeah. Oh, you'd be cruising. You'd be like 6.5.
I need to get them to send me that or save up some more money because they got more expensive.
Oh yeah, they jumped in price recently.
Yeah.
You need to get you into a Torpedo, my friend. Those things are.
Hey, I'll try anything in the kayak world. That's my goal. I want to try it all, except for like I'm probably not taking out the XTR one, like the 130. I don't see myself using a kayak like that much. Where I have the Old Town, the PDL Pro, and I barely take it out. But I love that kayak. But it's like I'd rather just take out the littler kayaks. Kind of do the things.
What are you laughing at? What?
Yeah, I was last year whenever I went to Susky, I was dragging the 136 around on the Susky, and it sucked.
Oh yeah,
a big girl
dragging a 200-pound kayak around out there.
Did you fit? Was that in the Bass Nation or
the team kayak? Like I was dragging that thing across like 100 yards of gravel just to go hop little pools.
Yeah, it gets rough.
I
bought the Kusa X off of Facebook Marketplace, and it's really. I don't know if you've ever been in one of those. It's very comfortable. I put the motor on it, and I took it to a Pennsylvania event in the Kayak Adventure Series, and where I drug up a creek. And that thing about wore me out because that kayak itself weighs 100 pounds. It's not as heavy as what you had, but still, it's like when you get in those 70-pound range kayaks, it's so much more easy to move those things around.
Oh, I bet. 100%. Real quick before this comment goes away, I would listen to this comment, John. Chad Hoover says, "Hit me up. I'll get you a Torpedo." Right. Yeah. And let's just say I know from experience, you're gonna want to follow up on that one. So.
Yeah. Also can get it on. He also knows he knows where all the good river stuff is too. He needs to show it more in his videos, but I think everybody would steal it from him.
There you go. You need to try the RS 117. That's a comment coming in from Chad. Yep. There we go.
Yeah, I've been wanting to try that one. It looked like a really good kayak, like you got in that good size range.
All right. Yep. Jake Cook over here in the comment section. John and Darren, Kayak Adventure Series team. I don't know. I know I'll be fishing a bunch of KBF this upcoming year, almost probably every single month. And recently, I don't know if you guys have heard this, they got the new Greenhorn series. So if you don't want to fish against hammers like Wyatt Hammond, and freaking give him a donation every single month, Chad actually created something called the Greenhorn series, which is like almost like an entry level series. It's only $75. It goes from February to October. You get a measuring board, which I believe is the Catch Carbonate included in that. And there's monthly prize drawings, and you get free entries into the Greenhorn Challenge Series. And so if you haven't checked that out yet, you're like, hey, I don't want to go in and basically give my money away, but you can go in and do the Greenhorn Series. So if you're in the Greenhorn, you can't do like the Challenge Series. If you're in the Challenge Series where like Wyatt and I fish and stuff like that, you can't do the Greenhorn. And there's no path in the Greenhorn to like the national championships. But if you want to dip your toes into that, wildly popular out of the gate. So head over to Kayak Bass Fishing and read more about that.
I heard y'all talking about that on the podcast, and I thought it was a great idea. That's really good. I think there's a lot of guys out there afraid to get in with everybody else, and they need something just to kind of get their toes wet.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
I like it. I have a lot of people actually write me after the podcast last week. Like, hey, tell me more about this. What can I do this? Or ask me questions about it. I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense. When I first started, I was like, you know what? I don't want to I'm seeing the numbers these guys can put up. You can see it. It's like 100, 110. Wyatt catches 116 in 3 hours. I don't want to fish against those guys, at least not until I hone my craft. And so the Greenhorn series, I think it was a brilliant move. Well done, Mr. Hoover.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Wolf of Walmart. Hey, that's my speed. Greenhorn. It's the right price. You get your measuring board, which I think is a good idea. Catch is awesome. So it's freaking awesome. Yeah. All right. Let me hop over here. There's so many comments. I'm going to move away from the comments, head back over here to the questions. All right. So when you look at 2026, John, and what trends are you seeing in creek and river fishing that anglers need to start paying attention to?
It's probably been going on for a little while, but I'm usually late, even to this kind of stuff. I'm always late to the game, but
you're leading the pack. You're not late to no game. You've been doing this for decades.
Well, if I see somebody doing it before me, I feel like I'm late. I think throw in bigger baits. Here's a 7-inch zoom fluke.
Pull that thing
Magnum
out.
Super Fluke, like that. I've started using that a lot, and that's one of my go-tos for drawing out like good bites. But I mean, you can still catch like a 15-inch bass, but that's like a giant bait. It's not usually people think creeks think you have to downsize. You don't have to downsize. If all you're targeting is Wyatt size fish, you throw that thing. Now you may only get a few bites. Where most of the time when I fish, I'm just trying to catch numbers more than. But when I'm doing tournaments, I kind of fish a little differently. So even if I'm going on a shallow stream, I'll throw a big fluke like that, and it draws out some fish that you might not kind of be surprised we're in there.
Hey, break that out of the package. You showed us the plastic for those listening in.
It's just a fluke, but it's a 7-inch.
Oh yeah. Did you put that on a 5/0 and just fish it weightless? Is that what you do?
Yeah, I like it weightless. 5/0 or 6/0. There's a couple different hooks. Whatever you feel comfortable with. But I just hook it. I usually just hook it like a weedless, weightless. That way you can throw it anywhere. You can hit the bank and drop it in if you want to. You can throw it in a tree or throw it over grass and then twitch it coming out. And it's got big like erratic action. And then depending on what the fish want to do, but a lot of times if you fish in moving water, it's clear. A lot of times the creeks and stuff, and then you'll see fish come out and follow it, and you can get it to get it to react real quick to get those fish to bite. But I've caught a lot of really good fish on like 18 to 20, like smallmouth and stuff on that. So that's definitely one. I feel like I think a lot of people are starting to learn it, but yeah, don't be afraid to throw bigger baits. What you would just throw in a lake.
Yeah, a lot of times you hear the whole size down when you're going through the creeks, and I've been seeing the opposite. It's been fun to watch. So, what's your favorite rod reel line setup for that particular bait? And then are you brand loyal to? No, you're not. I've been in your garage. You have 17,000 different brands.
I still buy my own fishing poles most of the time. I mean, I get some from people. But there's nobody that's supplying me with an endless supply. So
John,
I want to try all things. So anyhow, I mean, you can a 7-foot medium heavy with 40-pound braid, straight braid.
Oh, you go straight braid
most time, yeah. With like a coarser braid, not like the smooth. That's one thing I have learned. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. And anything I do say next year, I could be different. So just
don't hold me to a word I say.
I'm still learning. But
I love it. So you said smooth braid, coarse braid. What are you talking about? Help me out here.
I don't know. I don't know what the different brands are, but there's you'll get some braid. It's like smooth casting braid. That stuff when I'm using it on heavy things tends to I've broken off a lot more. Where if you get like a coarse braid, like a 4 or the 4-strand or whatever I think it is,
okay.
It kind of seems to be more abrasion resistance from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Yeah. Jake Cook over here in the comment section, straight braid, baby. I fish with him. And I'm like, bro, I know what'll happen the second I throw straight braid. I'll get it caught. It'll be a $20 jackhammer, and I won't be able to I guess I don't know. Straight braid. I feel like they see it, but then again, does it really matter? Have you noticed?
They see sticks and grass and all kinds of stuff floating down the river anyway. So
my biggest bass last year was like a 6-pound river bass, super clear water, 10 foot of water, like the most clear visibility as possible. I was throwing one of these, and it was following it. And I'm like, this fish is not going to eat it. I let it drop to the bottom. It picks it up off the bottom. Straight braid and everything. Like, it didn't care. If that fish wants it, they don't. Yeah, I don't think they care too much.
Yeah. Black Oak Outdoors 88 Power Pro V2 Super Slick is my go-to. So he's like, what you said, John, but the opposite.
Yeah. It still catches them, you know.
So you don't think it matters at the end of the day? Why you don't think it matters?
So I got the guys are asking about like 4-strand versus 8-strand and what he said coarse braid. Like I'll use coarse braid, that 4-strand, 6-strand stuff for vegetation, salt water, anywhere where I need abrasion resistance because it seems to hold up a lot better. But that like 8-strand stuff just casts. Like if I'm not around anything crazy, it gets picked apart because it's like super like cotton hair thread. It gets picked apart pretty easily on rocks and stuff. But it casts a little better. So it's kind of like what you're saying, that balance.
Okay. So here's a question for you, John. Wyatt. Do you think baits are getting better or anglers are just getting better at using them?
There's more information out there on how to use everything.
I don't know. I feel like the more I fish, the less I fish I catch sometimes. So
going downhill.
I don't even know.
Up 200,000 subscribers for crappie, folks. John Dalton.
There's more out there to try, and I don't really experience the thing where people are like, oh, they haven't seen this bait before, because I'm like in rivers and creeks where it doesn't. You can throw the same thing every day, but I mean, they do eat different baits at different times. Sometimes ones are better, but I could probably stick with my same 5 lures anywhere I go, and it's going to work. And that, just got to find what they're doing. What time of the year it is makes the biggest difference.
Okay. Well, break that down for us.
Yep.
The biggest thing I've learned that from like my thing that I feel like I have actually learned and like solved something in my mind where I never saw this before, because I did do fish creeks and rivers so much, where like early spring, once fish move out of their winter holes, say like March, April, depends on the weather, is they will be in super fast current that you wouldn't think they'd be in. And that's where I'm going to go with a lure like the bluegrass bug or
shameless plug.
Oh, what? Did I?
What? Did I mention? I mentioned. I do the same thing, bro. Do the same thing.
Yeah, but a lure, throw it in like. I've caught so many good fish doing this where I would throw any other lure you throw. So in the summertime, have all your normal spots. You got the eddies, you got the
foam,
back of the pool, you got off a rock. Well, in the spring, smallmouth, spotted bass. I don't know about largemouth as much, but at least those two, they will be feeding like right underneath a current drop. So that like current's coming into a pool, like up in the current where the fast water is still at. And like there's the pool, kind of back here. I'm throwing like up in the current, letting that thing tumble down. And there could be 10 smallmouth sitting down in this current in 2 foot of water that you have no idea are there. And they want that lure at the bottom, bouncing right to them. Kind of at a slow, kind of like a trout feeds. And that's something that I've really been able to dial in. And at the right times, even in the summertime, they can still eat like that. They can be up in that fast current. That's how I did really good on the Susky last year. Everybody was having a hard time catching them. And I caught 2 18s, a couple 17s, and a bunch of small fish right underneath a drop where those kind of those drops are. Yeah. I was throwing my lure up into the drop, letting it tumble down in there. Like, even if you were throwing it out 2 foot, you would never catch that fish. And I threw everything. I threw a spinner bait and swim baits, and all through the same area. Nothing. Throw the hellgrammite up in there, boom, catch a fish.
Are they actually sitting in the 2 feet in the fast water? Or are they over? Are they coming out of it and popping out? To me,
in my mind, I can't see them exactly because you can't see them. I know they're there from just like confidence and just like know that they sit and they don't. They might not. They're not coming up to hit something. They're not coming out of the current to hit something. They want that thing to just kind of come right to them. And a lot of times that lure needs to be just floating normal and not look, unnatural. Not floating, but drifting, just bouncing on the bottom. And sometimes it'll be bouncing on the bottom and it'll sit there, and then they'll pick it up.
That makes sense with the bluegrass bug,
and it'll be big fish too.
Yeah, the idea is that they hope a hellgrammite or some type of bug gets caught, gets pulled into the current.
Who did you show Ewing the little bug baits, or did he show them to you?
Oh no, yeah, I think he does. He's been doing his own thing for a long time. Yeah.
All right, got some questions over here. And some comments. Bass AF 817. Time on the water for me. Gotten better at utilizing techniques and baits. I think for me, it's a combination of whenever you teach something, you become exponentially better at doing it and remembering it while on the water. And so I know that teaching from the YouTube perspective has helped me as an angler. But not only that, this podcast has really helped me as an angler, right? I get some of the best hammers in the business coming through here. And after 127 episodes, you start picking up what works and picking up what doesn't work, and how these guys and how these girls continue to win week in and week out. So that's kind of where I'm at. All right. Jake Cook over here. I love the bluegrass bug. Been my best new to me bait I've tried in 2025. I also caught my personal best bass on that Sewanee. There it is, Sewanee bass. There you go. Southern Flow. You guys fish with Southern Flow from time to time. Had him on the podcast. It's been a while. Need to have him back on. What's your bucket list trip for 2026? And it better not be Reelfoot Lake. You need to pick a new one.
Only Tyler Sunflow might know this. It's a spot me and him talked about. It's a secret spot. Secret creek.
Those secret spots.
It's public access, but you got to go down this. We talked about it. You got to go down this stream. Then there's like this big drop off, and then there's no access after that. So it's like you got to go down here and then hike and go down to this little water, this like river. I did it last summer. And I fished this area, caught a ton of fish. And then there's like this big drop where it's probably like, it's just this long drop where you wouldn't even want to drag a kayak back up. I just walked down it and I saw some massive smallmouth down there, but I didn't have time to like stay down there. But it's like a trip. You got to take a trip to get there. You got to kayak and then you got to hike. I'm going back to that spot sometime this year. Because I know it's one of the places you got to really make a big effort to get there.
John, when I come down there, promise to take me, and I won't say anything. I'll sign the NDA. I'll do the hummingbird experience.
Yep,
I like it. All right. Chad's comment over here. They always need oxygen, temperature, and opportunistic for food. Here's another comment he said. There, people often forget this basic concept, right? FOT, food, oxygen, temperature. I think most people do when they're on the river. They won't throw to fast water. Like, what in the world would the fish be doing there? Because we're kind of taught that fish are kind of lazy, right? They want the least amount of energy, most amount of food. However, when there's 16 smallmouth around you, you have to be opportunistic. And so that means getting up there potentially in those rapids to get that bug that's floating down, or get John's bluegrass bug. And for those of you who don't know, John helped design that. You actually designed it and Mule Fishing produced it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So if you missed that, I'm not going to assume that everybody knows that, and that's why I said shameless plug. I was giving a hard time, but I have some of them, fished them, catch some fish on them, and great little lure you got there. All right, what else we got here? There are so many comments over here. 75, 80 live right now. Hit that like button. Help give this podcast a little bit of love and extend it to reach post when this thing's all said and done. All right. What do we got over here? Oh, bass. You're going to like this, Wyatt. You like this? I took Wyatt's advice that you gave like 2 weeks ago and targeted the nastiest piece of cover on the water, and boom, 5-pounder after losing 3 jigs. What's this? Forget about the losing 3 jigs part. 5-pounder. I love it.
Yep.
Well, whenever there's not 4 inches of ice, I will take your advice too, and we'll lose some jigs. I like it. All right, crawl fishing. What about donkey tail? This is a mule fishing lure for those of you who are not familiar. There's the donkey tail and donkey tail junior. What's your experience with those?
It's because the material that stuff made out of is like Z-Man type stuff. Like it's real elastic. It's gonna last forever. I really love it paired on the brand new BFS Z-Man chatterbait. Have you used those? Are you BFSers?
So I've seen them. I haven't used them yet.
I got a box of them somewhere, but they're so much fun to fish with. But like that doggy tail is great. It fits it perfectly. But it's like a 2. I forget. It's a 2.7 inch or something like that swim bait. And it's just real strong. But the little micro or the new BFS Z-Man chatterbait is something I'm going to be using a lot this year because it'll catch everything. Like you can catch the small bass and I know the big bass will hit it too. So I did a tournament where I only took it and I bet I caught 30 bass out of this river float. It's the most bass I've ever caught in this section of river. They were all spotted bass, but like 4 of them they were all like 16 to 17 inches. I didn't catch anything giant, but
still a blast. My gosh,
it was awesome. I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be something I do a lot.
Is it the micro or mini that you're throwing?
It's a new one. It's like a mini max, but it's got a thin wire hook on it.
Yeah, just it's a right size hook, which I really like how they got the hook right. I feel like on this one, it's small enough, but still thin enough because you're throwing it on a more limber rod most of the time, like a BFS rod.
Okay. It's got a number 1 thin wire on it.
1/4 inch and 3/16, I think, is the only 2 options they have, and it's awesome. It's really fun to fish with.
Well, I love me a chatterbait in the river, so I got to check that out. I got to reach out to my old contact over there at Z-Man and see what we can do. Get those out here in the spring. All right, Steven Sturgeon over here's got a question for you. When river or creek fishing, do you anchor from the bow or the stern?
I never can remember which one's which. I'm not the exact.
Stern is the back, bow is the front.
Why do we have to have different names for boat stuff?
Front and back, folks. Front and back.
Yeah. I've never anchored off the back. I know some people use a power pole and will do on the back. Yeah. You have to be in the right kind of waters to do that because it depends on where you live. Like say Ozarks, you got these big, wide open gravel bars, and you can run a big power pole back there. But like around me, there's too many trees and overhangs and stuff, or you just be getting caught all the time. I can't even run rods up like anywhere I fish on a river around me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I don't anchor a ton, but it's nice to have mostly for like when you catch a fish. I drop an anchor to kind of hold myself in position so I don't just get blown past all the rest of the good fishing area where I can, like, if I want to measure it or get a picture of it or video it or whatever. Most of the time when I'm fishing, though, I'm just like, it's more important to be looking ahead and making the cast ahead of you. I know a lot of guys get caught up like casting behind them. That's like the worst thing to do when you're flowing. Look forward. If you see something like, oh, I should have cast there, don't worry about it. Just cast up ahead. Cast up ahead. You're going to do a lot better that way.
There you go. Well, folks, whatever you do, just don't anchor the bow and stern at the same time. So use one or the other. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. That could be the last time you went kayak fishing. So one at a time. I put 2 anchor wizards on my Bonafide RVR 119. So I look forward to this year. I think it's also key what you said. When you catch a fish, you can slow down. And for me, a lot of times you'll catch a fish and you're moving pretty fast. And if you fight that or it gets you caught up and then you look up, you don't realize that you just went 30 yards down. And now you got this giant tree you're about to go in front of. So if you can drop that anchor really fast, you could stop and land your fish without getting yourself into trouble. I'm looking forward to really utilizing those a whole lot this upcoming year. I got my RVR all rigged out toward the end of last season and got a bunch of good fishing in, but didn't actually get to utilize those yet. So I'm excited about that. Oh my gosh, the amount of comments that are coming through are pretty incredible. So I'm going to move over to some of the questions I did here. So if you had to pick one bait that screams 2026 creek fishing, what is it and why? And it can't be the ones you already chose, right? You chose you got a 7-inch fluke. You got your bluegrass bug. And so walk us through. Oh, he's got a good one. What we got?
All right. I brought this. This is something I started using last year. And I will definitely have it ready to go all over. And it's the dangerous Bass Mafia loaded swim bait. And I really like the 5-inch because you can throw it on like any rod. You don't have to bring like a special rod, I don't think. I can throw it on just a medium heavy. I can throw it on my spinnerbait rod. You know, so because I'm always taking a spinnerbait rod, like that's one thing I always have. So I can just kind of go back and forth. And this thing, I've gotten a lot of really good fish. It's easy to throw. It doesn't hang up with a lot of stuff. And it gets good bites. And it's something I feel like I have confidence in. That's like, all right, if I'm just going down a river, like, all right, I just need some good bites. I'm not like, maybe I'm just in a tournament or whatever. That's something I can throw. And I feel like it just does really well. And where I think I maybe started using it last year in the spring. I don't remember when it was, but it'll definitely be like a kind of a go-to starting out this year.
So Wyatt, when you're out there fishing your lake, your lake tournaments, you always have the opportunity to go upriver. You ever get tempted to go up there on the bike? It's kind of tough out in the main lake.
All the time.
Do you ever do it?
Oh,
or just get tempted?
Just tempted. I'm
going to channel my inner Drew.
I get a little claustrophobic in there.
Okay. So not something you've really ever done as a strategy. All right.
I've been up canals and stuff in Florida and gone up, but not during a tournament now.
Got a question over here from. Yeah. I got a lot of questions. I'm gonna hop back over to these.
A ton of them.
From Rick Sitz. John mentioned 5 same lures pretty much work everywhere. Which 5?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
If I'm in like night, folks.
If I'm somebody says, hey, you're gonna go float this river, and you know nothing about it, you got 5 lures to bring, a spinnerbait, and you can get specific, but it's kind of more about what time of the year. A faster one, and the hotter it is, and slower it is, probably like a more slower style. But spinnerbait, a Hellgrammite, probably like just a 3-inch swim bait, and I also gotta have my yum dingers.
Oh my gosh, you're stupid yum dinger. I fished with John. This thing, I could see it from like 3 miles away. He used the brightest yum dingers I've ever seen in my entire life.
Just a simple swim bait.
What's that called? Like, it was some weird name too. What is it?
Yes, bubblegum lemon swirl.
Yeah, bubblegum lemon squirrel. It looks like a traffic cone.
I've got
a traffic cone. My
PB largemouth, 7.5 pounds, and 2 over 5 pound spotted bass, Alabama spots on it. And I've got a lot of big bass on that thing.
I think a sweet tooth, I guess. My goodness. Spinnerbait, Hellgrammite, freaking the loudest yum dinger ever made. What else you got?
And probably I'm going to go to either, well, I don't know. It's going to go back between one of these, either something like this or something like a big fluke that I can kind of go upsize and be erratic with, something kind of change of a pace. But
that's 4.
Is that 4? Oh,
you got one more. It's so funny. Earlier in the show, John, you're like, oh, one of these boxes around here. You ever been to John's house? He probably has 65 boxes just full of lures.
This is
everything's in a box.
Necessarily a big fish catcher. It will catch big fish. This is a go-to. This is just a fish catching
copper.
The Rebel. It's a Rebel crawl.
Oh, there it is. The crawl.
Just a Rebel crawl. It just catches fish.
So this. Yeah, what I didn't hear in those 5. No, there's a million lures out there, so it's hard. But you said those are the top 5. I didn't hear any. There's no topwater in here.
I don't. You can bring a topwater.
Oh my gosh, it's like the funnest bite in creek and river fishing.
I don't know what it is. I'm the worst.
There it is, Jake Cook. Thank you, Jake. Chapo.
Yeah. Most people will, but I usually catch more fish than most people. So no, I'm just kidding. I just don't have. I do not have a confidence in topwater unless I know they're hitting topwater, and then I'll throw it. Most of the time, I feel like I fish with people, and they'll get a bite or two. And I'm over here, catching fish, and they're like just waiting for bites. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh my gosh.
It also depends where you live. Like that's the thing. Is like every area is a little bit different. Every creek's different. Yeah, out where Tyler lives, like Southern Flow, like that. Those creeks are way different than my creeks. Like over here, mine come out of the mountain. His are like flatter, graveler. They hit topwater way better than they do over here. And his are predominantly smallmouth. Where around my area there's a lot of spotted bass, which they hit topwater good, but it's like spotted bass, largemouth streams, and then I got to go a little further away to get to more smallmouth stuff. Okay. They're colder streams too, a lot of them because they're coming out of the hills, so that's different too. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I love. I mean, topwater's fun, but I feel like I lose so many fish on topwater, and I just don't have as much confidence on it.
No, I hear you. Chapo 75 around here is just money, but it's the shallower, gravelly, warmer. We call it chop o'clock up here. Whenever the sun comes out, usually around noon, I usually switch over to the Chapo after being on the Z-Man Gobius, usually the entire morning. And man, that is such a fun bite, especially when you get like 15 to 20 hits on topwater and then the pike come out and try to nail it and most of the time miss it and shoot it in the air. My gosh, getting all jacked up. I got 2 months until I can throw a line in the water. I hate this. All right. Spinnerbait. You mentioned he's top 5, but some of them I want. I just looked down. All my cats like got into my office somehow. I'm not quite sure. Now they're fighting over here. Spinnerbait. Which spinnerbaits? What's your favorite?
I always say one thing about topwater because I get this in my comments all the time. Dude, I throw topwater everywhere I go and always catch them. I'm like, you're not fishing all year then. Yeah, if it's dead middle of summer, I'll take a topwater. But like in the spring or like when it's cold, yeah, topwater's doing you no good. But this one here is something on. Is this the one?
War Eagle?
Oh yeah, this is a War Eagle. Where's the one that?
Here's
the one I started using a lot more. This is the Trocar series. War Eagle spinnerbait. It's hard to show it, but it's got a twist up here. You know, I don't know if you've watched things about spinnerbaits where you know how they spread out when you catch a lot of fish and then it breaks. Well, this one has a twist up top. It's the War Eagle Trocar series, and if you're going somewhere where there's a lot of you plan on catching a lot of fish, this one holds up probably 5 times longer than ones that don't have it. And it's a little thicker, heavy. It's a little thicker metal, which I don't know. If a lot of people say they want thin wire. But if you're taking one, if you're looking for something to try, I really like the Trocar series. It's just a beefier, heavier duty. Like I've used it on like I'll throw this basically all day on like Susky if they're hitting the spinnerbait. And I was it 2 years ago I did it, and I don't even know how many fish I caught on it. It was just crazy. Well, everybody's throwing chatterbaits, and that works too. I'll prefer throwing this. I feel like I can do more with it. I can drop it down lower. I can do more. I don't know. It's just a preference thing. But
John, we don't believe a word you're saying because every single one of your lures is still in the plastic.
Well, I especially got those just so you can see them. You saw how many lures I have.
This is true. He's got like 15 packages, so he's probably.
I don't want to show you the ones I'm actually using.
Yeah, give you the ones I
like. Feel like you donate quite a few walk-ins.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so funny. All right, Helgramite. Any favorite? A lot of Helgramites out there. Any favorite brand?
I think Nico makes the best quality. Their 4.25 inch one's actually really good too. If you want to upsize a little bit, that's the one I actually caught 2 of my keepers in the Kayak Adventure series when I got 4th. I went up in size and then caught 2 18 somethings drifting it. But
but they're drifting it. Well, you got it has some type of weight on there, right?
Yeah. This is what I usually. This is basically a jig head I use for everything. The owner blockhead. It's 1/16 ounce.
Yeah.
The 1/0 hook. It's a nice thin wire hook that pins them really good because I'm throwing this on a spinning rod. I don't. I'm not trying to. Jab it like really hard. And also when fish bite in current, there's a lot of slack line a lot of times. So you want a thinner. Pointier hook kind of to just get a good hook set. Where thicker hooks, I feel like you can miss them some.
Yeah, you're fishing river, your line catches the current.
But I throw this on Helgramite, Yum Dinger, my swim bait, pretty much any kind of little thing like that. It'll do good with. It does a good hook set or hookup quality.
I like it. You told us about your Yum Dinger. Any other colors outside of Rainbow Mountain?
I think any would work, but. The reason I started using that because I thought it was stupid. I thought this is the stupidest color. Fish will not eat this. There was a spot I was in. It was a river, and I caught 2 or 3 smallies off this little spot. I'm like, I'm gonna throw this lure. Boom! First cast, catch a smallie. Next cast, catch a smallie. And then I started using it more and more. Then I broke all my PBs in like largemouth and spotted bass using it, and I've caught so many good fish on it. I'm like, is there something to this color, or is it just me being crazy? Because like there's no sense for this thing to work, but now it's like my confidence lure. I'm like I've thrown it everywhere. I'll just throw it. I'll throw it all day and use it.
I've seen you catch fish on it. I fished against you and you were throwing a rainbow unicorn. I guess I had to get a pack, and go out one day. That'll be the video. this thing catch.
I got a pack. I'll save this pack for you.
Appreciate that. We can go to that special spot. You got to go up, down, river, up, over, and crawl through. I like it. And then the Rebel Crawl. Wyatt, if you were going on the river tomorrow, what would you taking with you?
My history on rivers has been pretty terrible. I'm a chatterbait in the river.
There you go.
Chatterbait buzzbait out there in the river.
Buzzbait.
I like a buzzbait.
Yep.
All right, what do we got over here? Oh, it's a smorgasbord of comments. All right. Samuel Ward, his 5 are Fluke, Elgramite, Rebel Popper, Spinnerbait, and Z-Man TRD Cross.
Yep.
I like it. Chopasaur, the number 1 bait I find on trees. Stump, hung up, snagged on the river. I don't even grab them anymore. What? You don't drop the chop?
I think every Chopo or Whopper Plopper I have, I found it in a tree. I don't think I've actually bought one.
Oh, really?
$12 right there.
I put one through my arm this past summer. I pulled it out of a tree and it just flew back, and the hook went past the barb into my shoulder, and I think I had to push it through and then cut it. Dustin Hoy was with me, but he made it happen. All right, more questions. If you got a question for Wyatt or John, go ahead and throw that in the comment section. We will circle back to that. I have a smorgasbord of them. Let me see what we got here.
How do you normally find these streams that you're fishing? You just like Google Earthing and just seeing if there's a public access somewhere?
Everything you can think of. It's just like
I know a guy.
Yeah,
knows
Google Earth. I'll just get bored and look around Google Earth and be like, just follow creeks and rivers and look. I'm like, oh look, that looks like there's a pull off on the side right there. I wonder if I can get in there, and then I'll go drive to it someday. Or I have spots marked from 4 years ago that I'm like, I'm gonna get to that one day. There's apps, waterways. What's the there's one that's a Georgia only one. That's was it Georgia Waterways? I got them all somewhere on here. Paddleways, the Georgia River Guide, Far Wide, and then you can use one. There's like All Trails. It's like it shows you trails and parks, and I'll use that sometimes to like look up parks that are on creeks, and that's a lot of my spots go or so like that. Or like people like, oh, they're like, yeah, I walk by the creek every day. I never thought about fishing it. But they're like walking the trail, and I'll go to places like that. That's a lot of my wading spots, places like that, where you just greenway, anywhere there's a greenway, most times along a river or stream. I'm like, I wonder if anybody's fishing there. So I'll fish anywhere though. It doesn't. I mean, like if it's water, I want to fish it. Like I don't care what it looks like or what's in there. I want to try them, and then just all kinds of looking. Anything you can look on, and just driving around. I'll be driving somewhere. I'll drive over a bridge. I'll mark that place. I'll mark that creek. I'm like, oh, it looks like a good size one, and I'll go back and like follow it, later, and be like, look for access. Or if you know there's a river or creek around you, like I get this message like every day probably. Somebody's sending me a message. How do you find things? Like first off, whatever the rivers are in your area, just type that in Google and type in canoe spot. Like just do access, that, and you'll be surprised how much stuff comes up. Like there's a lot of information online if you actually like type it in and like search for stuff.
What's you ripped off like 4 or 5 apps. What's your favorite app? Which one do you find yourself? Someone mentioned in the comments doom scrolling apps.
I mean, usually just Google is like, because you just look for things around you, or if you know there's a river or a creek around you, there's something within an hour of your house. You're like, I've driven over that place. Let me go look. Or you're on a lake and you're like, oh, this is the mouth of such and such creek. Well, I wonder what's up it, It's just like, you just have to have a curiosity, I think, for it. And then once you start looking, like I find places all the time. I found this new little creek access an hour from my house. I just went down this back road and it's a WMA and never knew it was there. I don't think it's kayakable, but I caught a couple of bluegill out of it, and I'll definitely be back to kind of explore it some more in the summer. But then I tracked it back and it runs into the Tennessee River. And I'm like, But then I'm like, okay, well, where's the closest ramp to that? So I'm going to go run down the river to go up a creek to kind of go exploring. But that's the thing about especially the things about creeks and the smaller creeks and stuff off the rivers. As soon as the water rises in the Tennessee River system or any of your lake systems, if they lower the water for winter, when they raise that water, like in springtime, bass shoot up those creeks. I've caught so many. I'm not talking about, I ain't catching 10-pounders, but 2 and 3 pound bass in this much water all the way up the creek as far as they can get to the first shoal. They push way up those little creeks that's where I do a lot of wading. I'll like hop around these little wading spots I got and, and just catch them.
Gotcha.
All right. I have a bunch of comments over here. I'm trying to follow along. Got a lot of people commenting. I love it.
Yeah.
Jake Cook, like on X Hunt, shows public and private lands. Yeah. How much do you put a lot of thought into that, John? You just like, hey, you know what, I'm going to go and I can talk myself out of any situation.
I've only been asked to leave one place and I've been to thousands of places.
Really? Just once?
Yeah. And it was a guy that was like a caretaker for like this property. He's like, you're not, I can't, I got to ask you to leave. I was like, okay, no big deal. I go to see this is the thing. I talk to all the TWRA agents in Tennessee and everything. They don't care where you go, only when someone complains. So there's a lot of places I go. I'm not telling people to do this, but there's a lot of places I go that are on private property, but they don't care. Everyone goes there. It's like a community access area. Now, if I see no trespassing, that's where I'm not going to do it. If somebody doesn't want you there, they're going to put up a sign. And usually that's the main thing you got to look for. So I find places all the time that look like there's a trail here. Definitely people have been fishing here. I'm going to walk down it and go explore it. Georgia's a little bit stricter on some of their laws. So, and I've heard Colorado's like the strictest. I've never been up there, but you got to kind of just, some people have yelled at us before, but they usually think that we're like in their backyard. And once they realize you're fishing, a lot of times they're like, oh, because most of the time I go to places like no one's there, no one's going there, so they're kind of not used to seeing people. So you got to watch out for that too. You go to places that no one goes to, you're like, But if you go to places that are normal, you see like, oh, it looks like people are fishing here. There's a path. There's a million buckets of worms right there. So all those people are fishing here.
All right.
I guess I go.
You got Southern Flow over here. Made some good friends with property owners, just chatting them up. Always compliment, clean up, and ask if they need work done. I liked it all the way up to ask them until they need work done. So yeah. No, and imagine. Have they ever taken you up on it, Southern?
Yeah.
Well, actually,
he's like, I need a tree not chopped down over there.
Yeah, I'll go get my honeydew list. I'll be outie. Oh my gosh. All right. If you have a question for John, go ahead and throw that in. We are coming up on an hour here. That went by real fast. Real fast.
Yeah.
All right. So when you're
you had
like
one.
17 questions over here. If you have one, Wyatt, go ahead.
No. Remind me, just how often you stepping in pluff mud around there? Because I know I'd be drowning in it out here.
Pluff mud.
Yep.
What is that?
Yeah, we all
mud on the river. You sink in up to your waist whenever you walk in.
Most places there's a lot of gravel, but there's some mud. That's what's funny is like in my town I have one creek that's like all rock. It's like clear, rocky, and then there's another creek that's all mud. And muddy ones are like you can't really. I've caught some good fish out of it, but there's like no. It's so hard to fish because the banks are all mud. That means there's trees down everywhere. Yeah. So it's like you can't kayak it, you can't wade it because you can't see it. So muddy streams around me, you really can't even like get in to access them. I mean, I try, I do some, but it's just so much work.
What's this we're hearing about you getting shot at out there?
Yeah, did you get shot at? Someone
no, that was one where me and Josh Sharp. I've been to this creek a few times, and here's another thing. When you go places, if you go by yourself, you're really quiet, and like most of the time nobody knows you're there. But if you go with people, like I was with Josh, and we were just talking, and we were walking along the bank, way up this creek, like some backwoods area, and this woman, she fires off a gun in her yard. And she's like, "What are y'all doing?" And Josh is behind me, and I was like, "What happened?" And so he's like, "We're fishing the creek." She goes, "Oh, I thought y'all were doing something in my backyard." Supposedly, she said, "Well, I had some people come up here a couple weeks ago. We're messing around with something." So she was just on like super high alert. This is like out in the woods, out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh wow.
to me, it was like no big deal. I'm like used to that kind of stuff. But like people had a heyday of like, all these things. You can't do this. You can't do that.
You're just used to people firing warning shots, shotguns around you.
Yeah, it's like no big deal. That's like that's just what people do out in the country. I had a gun on me too.
Here in Ohio. Do you carry when you go out there?
Yeah, most time.
Okay, that's probably why you're not as worried as most. My goodness, freaking crazy. You've been doing this for a decade now. How far do you now have to travel in order to fish a spot you haven't fished before?
I've been looking at some places. I got to go 2.5, 3 hours to get to stuff that I'm like that I don't fish very often or haven't like fished. There's a place I want to go, but it's like 3 hours away. I've only fished it like 2 or 3 times, but it's like really good. It's like, man, it's a long drive to get up there and back. I think that's part of like you said. I've been doing this 10 years. I've lived in the same town for 10 years. So I'm bored of fishing everything around me, and I'm talking about everything. I have fished
multiple times,
every single ditch, creek, everything, every inch of river around me. And I'm like, it's. I think it's partly. I think that's why my YouTube's down right now. But I think part of it's because I'm like, I just don't have the. It's not as exciting because I fish the same places, and I don't like fishing the same places very often. Like I got some good spots. I go there maybe twice a year. Maybe 3 times a year. I try not to just go to the same place over and over. But yeah, I'm trying to travel more to go to more things.
What do you mean your YouTube is down?
Nah, just like views, and I feel like I don't know. I just been a little slump. Views are down. Everything's down right now.
It's also January.
Yeah, it's also part of January, but it'll as soon as March hits, it starts taking back off usually.
Yeah, January, February is tough for content creators in the fishing.
And I can't like small creek stuff. I just can't do in the winter because those fish just shut. I'm talking about small creeks. Those fish shut down, and then I got all these over here like 20 minutes away. I got the Appalachian Mountains, and all those streams. That water gets super cold. Those fish just totally shut off, and it takes them even longer for them to get active. Like it's got to be like April at least before they start getting active.
Okay,
because the way they are.
Here's a good question coming in from Big Jammin' RMFT. What's the best shoes for walking creeks? Because I know when I go up to Pennsylvania and I start wade fishing, I almost have to get like felt boots because if I wear like sandals, I'll just tear my feet up because the boulders are like this big. When your feet falls down in them, you crush your toes. But those are pretty big boulders. So do you have a go-to? I'm surprised you're not sponsored by one, considering all the wade fishing that you do, and you are creek fishing.
Anybody wants to sponsor me, I can sell a lot of shoes.
I'm sure you could. How many times do you get that question a day on your channel?
It is one of the most common things I get. The ones that I have right now that I wear are there's the Cross Kicks has one that's pretty good. That to me, I just want something hot quality that's going to hold up from stepping in and out of the water. Because I'm in the water, I'm out of the water, or I'm kayaking, and half the trip I'm wading, and then half the trip I'm in the kayak. But so you don't want a shoe that just soaks up water. So like the Cross Kicks Tetra or whatever I think it's called, it's pretty good. There's the Columbia PFG has a couple that are pretty good. If you look up their water shoes, what is it called? I could probably find it on Amazon, but they're like $100, not too expensive. Yeah, the Cross Kicks Tetras. But the Columbia ones are like tennis shoes. They're very, very comfortable shoes.
Okay.
Now, none of these have felt soles. I have wading boots with felt soles, and I never wear them.
No,
because they're like bulky and heavy.
They're pretty big.
And when I'm moving, I'm like moving. Like if I go with somebody and we're wading, I'm like looking back. I'm like, what's taking so long? Like because I do this so much where I just glide through areas where most people would really struggle. But you have to learn how to like position your feet. When you're walking through rocks, you let your feet slide in the cracks, then step, then you slide, and you're like sliding into the spots. If you try to like plant on it, you're just going to slip out from under it. It definitely puts a work on your legs. Like you get tired. You'll get really tired wading a lot.
My lower back always hurts.
Yeah, mine too.
Always. But, when you wade all day, my goodness, because you're pushing against the water and it all goes to your lower back. You're not used to it. My gosh.
And if you're wearing a backpack or something, that's why I tell you take as little as lures as possible. I take a little bitty backpack if I'm this is a wading trip, one backpack, one rod, and try to have like just a handful. I don't need 7 colors of the same lure. 1 color of one lure, maybe something else, Like how many times am I actually going to change, on that kind of trip?
Yeah.
Now, if I'm kayaking, you can take more, and then if you're in and out, you can get out and wade and fish an area.
Yep.
You can get back in your kayak and float through. Or if you want to, I'll float down sometimes and drag my kayak back upstream. Or now with a motor, you get up to a shoal and you pull your kayak up it. But yeah, just having something good and comfortable. Even if it's just tennis shoes, like they all wear out. Nothing lasts that long. Well, they wear out for me because I use them a lot. But I can't think of anything else right now.
Do companies reach out to you and be like, "Hey, I want to send you some shoes to try out"?
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Dude, no one has.
I mean, I did get the Columbia ones for free because I signed up for something at iCast, but they've never they didn't know who I am. They were like, just sign this thing and we'll send you some shoes.
Okay. I'll sign that all day.
I mean, I got a free pair of shoes, so
you can sell my email if you send me a free pair of shoes.
I don't know. I'm not good at branding myself to companies, like telling them why they should work with me. But
John freaking Dalton, folks.
Yeah.
John Dalton.
People don't know.
Yeah. Jake Cook says, as soon as you do the what to wear to wade video, you're apparently your views will jump back up. So there you go. This is how you break your slump. Jake's got all the answers for you.
Yeah.
A couple questions for you. B. Jammin, RMFT. Have you ever been snake bitten walking the creeks?
That's another good common question. No, never had any problem with snakes. I've almost stepped on several, but I'm not. And I also don't fish a lot of areas that are there's cottonmouths, so I'm not too worried. There's no alligators or cottonmouths around me, at least on my side. I seen a rattlesnake one time. That was neat. But
you get the big wolf spiders.
Yeah, we got some big spiders. That's what I hate more, going through woods and stuff. You're just like spider web, and then then you got one crawling on you. You're like, oh, but no, I've never had any problem with snakes, and every snake I've ever come across. Oh, I had one almost drop on me. That was
Bill Dance style.
But I think it scared the snake more than me. But now I got it on video. I'm wading up this creek, and in the video you can see it laying on this little limb about head level. So I step up to go under it, and right when I did that, it just drops right in front of me, just like a brown water snake. But snakes will run. Snakes, I hear them all the time. I'll be wading or something, and you just hear, and you hear,
really?
It's usually a snake dropping in the water. They're in bushes, overhangs all the time, over water, and they just drop in like a turtle does. See them all the time, but
I call them nope ropes. No, thank you. Yeah. I don't want nothing to do with that.
That holds a lot of people back. From walking through woods and walking through creeks, people are scared to death of snakes. But do you know anybody that's ever been bit by a snake? Now it can happen. You can step on one and cause it to bite you, but most of the time they're not. They're running from you.
Usually. Yeah, I'll still do it. I'll walk through there. I just don't like seeing them or hearing them plop.
I think you got a better chance weed eating in your yard to get bit by a snake than you do probably out in the woods.
I believe that. I'm not saying it's logical. I'm just saying it's in my head, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, a couple other questions here. What do we got? Real Stupid Fishing. What a fantastic name. I love it. He's even got an AI logo for that. Went wading last weekend. It was around 30 degrees here in Kentucky. 0 fish caught. Any tips for cold water river fishing?
Yeah, if I'm doing this, which I'll do it some, like I said, it depends on where you're at. Mm-hmm. I feel like I don't have around me. There's some rivers that are good for winter fishing, but if you're doing a creek, I'm looking for deep water, the deepest water in the creek, and that could be 4 foot deep. And I'm gonna fish really slow with a hellgrammite or a jig. I'm gonna throw it out, and I'm just gonna let that thing sit. And if there's how you see a root ball, and that's there's probably a fish hiding in that kind of area, let your lure sit there on the bottom for 4, 5, 10 seconds before you pick it out of there. Because I watch them, you'll see them in clear water, and they'll come over, especially in the wintertime, and look at your bait for 3 seconds, and then just really slowly eat it, and you'll never feel anything. So when you pick back up, kind of pick up soft, just see if there's something holding on to it, because sometimes they'll hold on to it, but if you jerk it away, they'll just let it go. But if you pull up soft, they'll kind of grab it, and you're like, is that a fish? And you just got to ease it away and see if he tugs back on it. But for me, it's just slow, especially in creeks. In like small water, it gets cold fast. And you might even be throwing right in front of a fish, and he just looks at it and never picks it up. That happens a lot too.
Yeah. So how do you keep from spooking fish when making like repeated casts in skinny water? Real shallow water. Do you have any like techniques, or do you like, hey, I'm going to throw, this is a honey hole, and I'm going to throw light lures and switch out a little bit heavier, so I'm not splashing hard on the cast, so they all spook, or you not really think about that a whole lot?
If they spook, you're not catching them. The fish that spook, because I've seen people throw. I mean, you probably have to. I've seen guys throw a 10-inch glide bait on top of a largemouth bass, and I've watched that bass come hit that lure. So. To me, I don't think it's spooking. Spooking, like when you spook them, like people say that, it's usually you walk right up into their area and then spook them out of there, like out of their area. Yeah, but I don't. If your lure spooks them, and because that happens sometimes, you'll throw in like, oh, that fish just swam off. Well, if he did that, he was not looking to eat, and you're probably not catching that fish because they hear something fall in the water, they're going to be running to that.
Right.
Yeah. If they're and it depends on where you cast. That's where like in the back of the pool areas, like they may in the summertime. They're just kind of hanging out, and they're not wanting to be bothered. You throw in there, that fish swam off. Well, he wasn't going to eat most time, anyways.
All right.
From my experience, I mean, if you stay in there all day, you might have getting that fish to bite. For me, I'm moving, I'm going quick, making quick casts, moving fast, getting those aggressive ones, and moving on.
Yeah. So, how do you do? Do you usually fish with a buddy when you go river fishing and you do a float, or you're like, hey, I'm more of the mindset of going by myself, motoring up, and then floating down? How's that work? Or are you just like, hey, I usually just wade and I walk up and I float down?
I'd rather go with someone because then you can just flow. To me, my favorite way to fish of all time, other than wading like a really good smallmouth stream, is just floating a stream. No motor, just let the current take me. We got 6 miles. We're going to put in here, and we're going to take out 6 miles later. When we're at the end, we're done. But we're just going to float through here, take our time, fish it as we want to fish it, and then when we're done, we're done. Yeah. If you can go with, I got like some creeks that like me and Alex fish. We'll start fishing them here probably like into February. That we've kind of found some wintering holes where they're starting to get more aggressive. But if you take 3 people down that stream, it's really, really tough. There's too many people.
Yeah.
Now you can catch fish, but if somebody's really good in the front, that's very good at covering water, they're gonna get way more fish than the guy behind them.
Yeah.
Now, if you're kind of taking turns. And like, all right, I got one. Now you stay in front of me, and I'll just wait until you get one. You can do that, but yeah, it can get crowded. That's where I do like going. Some streams I'll like to go by myself to just like, you know what, I'm gonna go out here, and maybe I'm gonna just go downstream and come back up, or go upstream and come back down. But I'm gonna fish at my own pace. Take the time I need to. No one's rushing me. If you go with somebody else, sometimes they can be rushing you or slowing you down. Sure.
Pushing or pulling you 100%.
Yeah. And then there's, so I do love going with people. It's more fun to go with another guy if you learn how to fish together, and you can help each other out. You can, you're excited for each other. You can take pictures for each other, help video. Obviously, that's about the, if I don't get a video out of it, it's a fun day, but it's like, I did all that and don't have it in the show. So I got to get a video. I got to, and sometimes that's why I go by myself. Cause I'm like, you know what? I can take my time. I'll see more animals. I'll get better underwater footage. I can just sit on places that I know there's only a few fish, like especially wading creeks. I want to wade by myself because I can fish it at my own pace, and I get those fish. Where if you're wading with someone else, it's really hard to kind of share the water.
Yeah,
on skinnier, if it's something
skinny water, that makes sense. So, a question for you: if someone is new to creek fishing, what bait gives them the fastest learning curve? What would you be like, hey, I'm tying this on, taking someone out for the first time, and they're like, hey, what do I need to tie
on? Is this clear water?
I guess break it down for us.
Yeah. If it's a clear, rocky water, I always tell Helgramite. I'm going to tell them Helgramite, and I'm going to show them where to cast it and like how to be patient with it, and be more patient than you think you're being patient. And that's where I've told so many people to do that, and I've watched them catch fish where before they're casting it in, wanting to move it and reel it in. Like, no, throw it out there and let it drift to the bottom. Don't even hold your line. Let it fall to the bottom or let it fall in current. Then give it few seconds, and then reel up and like get your line taut. And now that's kind of waiting and going slow. Jake said that's a good one. If somebody you're kayaking a small stream, you're flowing, spinnerbait, it's hard to beat. Just chuck it, wind it. There's so it depends on how you're fishing. If it's muddier water, I'm gonna go with spinnerbait or chatterbait. It all depends, but it's I think you kind of just need to don't rush anything. It's like even with spinnerbait or chatterbait, you can just slow roll that thing sometimes. I've seen it like big changes where we were fishing a spinnerbait and I'm like, they're not hitting it. Let me just slow down my roll retrieval just a second slower, and boom, you catch twice as many fish. Or you start getting bites where they're like the whole time they've been following it but not biting just because I've been going too fast. Yeah. So I think throwing a lure and varying the way you fish it. Don't just only fish it one way. Vary how you're doing it to figure out how to get more bites. Same thing with casting. Cast everywhere. Like some people are like they only look for they're only looking for the foam. I barely catch fish out of the foam. I catch fish way more places than I do out of the foam. Okay. Like I'm hitting all these other spots that most people aren't making casts into. The foam's not the home for you. Yeah, it can be, but it's like there's lots of other places where fish are too. Yeah. I had someone say they caught a 10-foot alligator on a DT6 earlier. That'd be a wild ride. I caught an alligator when I was really young before. I was down in Florida. I didn't obviously get it all the way in before it snapped my line, but that was fun. Jake Cook, foam is the home. There it is. Yeah. Johnny Bennett, do you have better luck wading up or down? Like, are you? I like this question. All right, well, break it down for us. It's because it depends on where you have access to. So if I have a lot of creeks that are like I got one access spot, and I go upstream or downstream. Sometimes going upstream is not the good section. It's like it's not a good area. Maybe you got to walk half a mile before you can get to deep water. So I'm going to go downstream. So people are like, you should always wade upstream. That's a thing people say. Always wade upstream. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Walk all the way down like the bank and then come back up it, or walk through it and then come back up? So no, I've caught plenty of really good fish going up and downstream. It's more about casting in front of you, casting out there, casting ahead of you, and then walk towards while you're reeling. Cast ahead of you, way out, hit this bank over here. Not right beside you. The fish has already seen you. Way out there, far as you can get out there on that bank. Look up here. Oh, is there any rocks in the middle? Is there any trees over here? They're looking like 20, 30, 40 feet ahead of you and be focusing on things like that. If you're coming up on, like a riffle and then, cast into the riffle and let your lure go into the, pool, or cast and reel your lure through the riffle before you get up to it. Most people just don't understand that they're like wanting to fish off of like a bank of a lake. I love how people walk up to the bank of the lake all the way to the edge and then just bomb a cast. Yeah. I'm like, there could have been a bass right there on the bank. Right there. Yeah. And that's where everyone in the boat's casting to, right at your feet. So I think either way is fine. And I've heard if you walk downstream, you're just disturbing you're kicking up dirt. Well, you know what fish do when dirt gets kicked up? They start eating the things that get kicked up. I've heard everything, but like I said, I've caught big fish and lots of fish doing it both ways. But it's more important where you're casting and like looking at things. Like, all right, here, there's a good pool over there. Let me get in position and then cast into it. Or let me cast and hit the edge of it and work my way into it instead of getting too close to it. And be watching. I catch so many fish by just seeing things. And y'all done this on the lake, but I think you can do it more when you're standing because you see everything a lot of times. So you make a cast and then you see something just swipe and you're like, what was that? I saw something there. Let me make a few more casts. Was it 2 summers ago? I caught like a 5-pound spotted bass wading up this little stream. I can't remember what I was throwing. Oh, I was throwing a fluke, and I was like, they're going to be killing this fluke. I had it in my mind that this little fluke was a 4.5-inch fluke. I had it in my mind, this is the thing that's going to work. I was like so confident. So I'm going up the stream. I catch a couple little ones. I'm like, okay, we're catching them. I come up on this nice little pool. It's like a little pool at the back of There's the back of a pool, like a little drop off, probably 4 foot deep. There's like a little tree sticking out. I throw up in there, twitch. Should have caught something. I throw up in there again, and I just see something just barely come out and move. I'm like, something was in there. I make 5 or 6 more casts, nothing. I'm like, all right. So I put a Yum Dinger on. It was actually a Morning Dawn color. Yum Dinger, throw it in there, let it sink, and all of a sudden, boom, line goes tight. 5 pound spotted bass, and there was another one with it. It was one of the craziest catches like wading I've probably ever had. But like, if I would have just been set on that lure, thinking in my mind, this is what they're going to bite on, I wouldn't have caught that giant fish. And if I hadn't been really paying attention to like little things happening, I would have never known that fish was in there. So I think just being very visual and really just watching and then a lot of times that's where you find out where the fish are. You walk up and all of a sudden you see a fish swim out of like 2 inches of water. Like, what was that fish doing right there? But okay, that gives you a clue. Like, okay, now I know that they might be in way shallower water than I think they're in. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest thing too. Or another thing, not the biggest thing, but another thing, people don't realize where fish are. They could be anywhere. Like you got to make casts everywhere and really be picking places apart till you kind of get it dialed in.
Do you ever fish the Zemangobius in the rivers or creeks?
No, I don't think I've used it.
Oh man,
I've seen
that thing. I love it. Yeah. All right, we're gonna do final questions. We're gonna land this plane. Wyatt, you got any questions for John? Anything that's been popping in your mind?
I think we got most of them picked over through the comments.
I know, this is good.
Wyatt, what area are you in?
I'm in Central North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Are you like
Cape Fear River?
Are you in the, flat area or on the mountains still?
Flat area.
Okay.
Yep. So
I'm just on the other side of the mountains. You know, I'm near Chattanooga.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's a whole other area too. When you that's what's crazy. Like when you get the flat area, it's totally different than like the mountain area.
Yeah.
So the streams are different. Everything's different.
Yeah, I've got a lot of streams around here, but all the banks just go straight into it from 10 feet up. So I can't walk too much of them.
Yeah. Do you have a river fishing kayak, Wyatt?
I mean, I've got a couple that at work.
I mean, specific. Like
I don't have a build or anything for river fishing. I mean,
one of my best. Good.
What?
One of my best ever days was in I think it was Caryville, North Carolina, or somewhere in there. I caught 20 pounds of bass. Not 20 pounds. A 20-pound bag. I don't know. I never usually keep up with it. But this is the first time I kept up with it. 20-pound bag in this little creek. Almost everything on the Yum Dinger. It was crazy. Like, yeah, North Carolina, I mean, obviously is known as, is known for some big fish, but there's a lot of big ones in the streams and stuff too, from what I've seen over there and caught.
John,
especially if it's like a flatter creek that doesn't come out of the hills. If it's like flat and long, that's the ones I really like targeting. I feel like those just really, they're more stable. There's a lot of bait fish in those, and they have some big fish.
Yeah, I know we've got a couple river kayak tournaments coming up on some of the smaller stuff out here, so we'll be on Google Earth looking some up here.
Yeah, you got a lot of spotted bass your way now. They're taking over that area too.
Yeah, they're starting to make their way. They're starting to pop up in some of the lakes. They're getting in from the rivers.
Yeah.
Is anybody else inspired just to go to Google Earth right now and just look at every creek you could possibly find? Because I know I've done that. I did the lake thing. It's pretty easy, right? You look for the giant blue blobs that are close to your house, but the creeks, my gosh, I need to take a better look at that.
Well, here's something. If somebody wants to try something that's not really hard, and maybe they don't want to float a river, they don't know where access is, go to your lake and find where a creek comes in, get your light kayak and go up it as far as you can go. And when you get to some kind of log jam or something, realize there's no boats fishing past that. So whatever you can get past, those fish probably aren't getting near as much pressure. So drag your kayak up past it, go up a couple of them. I think people will be amazed. They're like, you might not catch the biggest ones if you're just only targeting big fish, but you can catch so many more fish. And I've done it so many times where it's like, especially spring and summertime. Not in the wintertime, they kind of move out of there a little bit, but when it gets spring and once it gets warm, those fish they're way up those streams and aggressive. They're feeding up there. They're going up there to eat. That's the thing too.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. I need to do that more often. Sometimes when that lake bite is dead, I need to switch. switch it up a little bit.
Wyatt
and
Gregory
John.
approach.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Are there any new or emerging baits you think will blow up this upcoming year?
I heard about a bluegrass bug. No.
Are
I don't
you gonna
know.
make that party unicorn color for your bluegrass bug?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We already have a pink one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
It's not the party thing
yeah.
you got going on.
We have a little trouble. We're not as big a time as Yum have all those colors.
Bass does have that event on the Susky, so.
Do I?
Bass does have the event on the Susky this year, so.
Oh yeah.
Anything that caught your eye, you're like, that's interesting.
The Z-Man BFS chatterbait is going to be huge this year. People are really getting into BFS, but you can also throw it on a lighter, like just your lighter casting like crankbait rod probably.
Yeah,
that's going to be fine. Just if you're looking for something that's going to be just catch fish, like that thing will just catch them all. It's just a catching fish thing. Now I'm usually not the one to go to for like targeting big fish, but I look for lures that just catch fish. Like I just want to go catch fish. And I find out that there's a lot more people that just want to catch fish rather than are only targeting big fish, So that thing. I don't know what else. I heard there's some new BFS glide baits. Hopefully, I'm going to find out this weekend at the Tennessee Fishing Show. I'll be there and
Spro made the Chad like yay big now.
The 2-inch one or whatever.
There's like a little 4.5, 5 inch.
There's something like a 2-inch one that Buka came out with. Like two.
I did the little multi-segment one, the little swimmer. Yeah,
I got to get that. I'm like, I want that so bad. It looks really cool. But yeah. Also, you're right about the Well, I got I just bought a 5-inch like the one from Walmart, the Mike Buka one. Just like those things are really good, but now that he's making them cheaper, I think more people start using those.
Yeah,
like the resin ones are really nice. Like those are good river baits too. But most people don't want to throw like a real expensive lure. But if you can get it for $20 or whatever, those things catch good fish.
Yeah, I've got the little Buka ones, the little tiny ones at work. I'll grab one, send it to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm supposed to. Well, I'm going to the fishing show. Hopefully he's there. Okay. I don't know if they'll have it or not, but like we have a big show this weekend in Knoxville, and it's supposed to snow for like 3 days. So I'm like, hopefully the roads is fine. But y'all get snow your way.
Where I'm from. Yeah, we got the Columbus Expo coming up in 2 weekends, so I'll be there.
Oh, okay.
I'll be there Friday, Saturday. Also, Aggressively Average Anglers are going to be there. A bunch of other buddies, a lot of people. So I look forward to bouncing around. I won't be in any booth. I don't like sticking around at booths all day. I still like going around, walking around. And I might actually put one of my kayaks in a there's like a contest put on by Raccoon Creek Outfitters for like fully rigged to the gills, and then there's another one with like simply, as simple as it gets or whatever. So I'm gonna bring home a trophy. I'm tired of looking at Wyatt's background and seeing all these trophies. I can't win a tournament, but I can win a kayak rigging tournament.
Here's my trophies.
Yeah, there we go. It looks monstrous if you put it right there in front of the camera. Yeah, freaking long arm that trophy.
Yeah.
Last 2 questions for you both here. Real quick, someone's asking in the comment section. John, are you going Friday? Tuesday?
Yeah. So I was talking to Wendell earlier. We were talking about your travel and everything, but I started going up there and setting up a booth. So I've gone the last 2 years. Now it cost me more. It cost me probably more than I make. I try to sell hats and I'm gonna sell bluegrass bugs, but it's in the Knoxville area, and the amount of people in that area that watch my channel are just like people I know is crazy. I will talk to people the whole time. So for me, it's like a thing that I'll be at a booth in the kayak room. If anybody watching knows where that's at, it's easy to find. But I just like talking to people. I've been doing 10 years. There's some people are like, oh, I used to watch you when I was little. I'm like, that's nice.
Yeah, you're becoming legend status. It just really means you're old.
I just kind of use it as like a meet and greet for a lot of the fans in the area, and it's just fun time hanging out.
Yeah. You go to talk to John, buy one of his hats, folks. You don't lose money going up there. Come on. Bring some cash. How much your hat's going to be so they come with exact change?
Probably $30.
There you go, folks. I think $30. Walk home with a creek fishing hat. Sure. 2 questions for you. Oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? All right, here we go. Nope, lost it again. If listeners remember one thing from this episode about creek fishing, baits, anything we talked about, what should it be?
What was that again?
If listeners only remember one thing from this episode, what was the most important thing that came out of your mouth tonight, John?
I don't know if I said it, but it's like, don't be afraid to go and try anything, even if it looks shallow, or you drive over on a bridge and it looks, that doesn't look like those fish. There's so many deep holes in creeks that like you can't see unless you go walk them or look for them. There's so many places. There's so many good places out there that people drive by every day and don't even try. So don't be afraid to like stop anywhere and fish it. And especially if you're just fishing for multi-species, like you're just trying to catch fish.
Yep.
The best places are usually right in the middle of town, right under bridges. Like I've caught so many fish in the middle of my town where I took you, Wendell.
I caught my first Coosa bass. You put me on it.
I'll go to that spot in the summertime. I can catch 15 fish in that little area, and it's like it's only 2 foot deep. So, and there's so many places. And also, I think the biggest thing is casting and like looking. Like people get really focused on like one little thing. Like be looking, scanning. Even when kayaking, you're looking and looking for good places to cast, where you're picking out the best cast in front of you, whether you're wading or kayaking or not. Because you want to cast in front of you, hit that spot, and that bass, get that bass to react before you're right on top of it or something.
So we're at the beginning of 2026. Anything new that you're doing this year that you haven't done in years past? What can we expect from Creek Fishing Adventures in 2026, John?
I really haven't announced it. Dropping stuff
right
here.
Now? You doing it right now?
Yeah. I think maybe I've talked to a couple people about it. I'm going to make a trip to California this year.
Whoa.
Boom. I'm turning 40 in a month, 10 years of YouTube, coming up on 200,000 subscribers. Everything's coming together. I'm like, all right, I got to do it. It's time to do something crazy. I want to go catch. Dave's got those in his creeks. Have you heard about the, is it pike minnow or there's some kind of fish out there? I didn't even know that was in there, but he has them in a creek by his house. I'm like, dude, I got to catch that. So I'm going out. I want to do, I don't know whether I'm going to drive or fly, but that's going to happen this year. That's on my main thing to do.
That drive would be brutal.
And also a giant write-off. Man, look at all the water you get to go across.
You would never make it there, John. You stop by like 70. It's going to take you 75 days to get out to California and then 150 on the way back.
Extended trip.
Oh my gosh. Anything else? You're going out to California?
My goal is to do like bigger things, do things I've never done this year. I'm like, I just kind of feel like it's a time to kind of just try new things, try going places. I might try to I'm going to do like probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 of the Kayak Adventure series. I really love those. I might try to go to that, the one that I think it's Bassmaster. Is it in Caddo or in Louisiana?
You're in Wyatt land.
Caddo.
Yeah, I'm like that. I've always heard about that. I'm like, man, this would be a good time to try it. I want to try doing some cool things, like things that just I've never done before. I'm like, you know what? Let's just try some different things this year.
You ever fish up here in the Caribbean or the Midwest? Ohio. Yeah.
A few times.
Come on, get up here.
Yeah.
I'll take you to my honey holes. You have a good time. Creek fishing. I actually need to take you to Pennsylvania, where we go wade fishing in some of the offshoots of the Susquehanna. Pretty freaking sweet. All right, folks. Well, we're going to wrap this up. John, appreciate you hopping on. Special thanks to our sponsor once again, Dark Horse Tackle. Make sure you check out the Greenhorn series if you just like this kind of a little bit of tournament talk we've been having going on. But appreciate you, John. I'll have to get you on. You're a regular every 6 or so months. Yeah. I circle back. Love having you on. In between the times I have you on, I usually am down there. We go fishing a little bit. You put me on my first ever new species of Coosa bass. Never caught one of those. So we almost died by a lightning storm afterwards, but nonetheless, we pulled that out.
Got it
right before. But yeah, I always appreciate you, John. I love your content. Love what you mean to this to the industry and to kayak fishing. So thank you for what you do.
Appreciate it.
Wyatt, appreciate you as well. And we will see you next Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the Kayak Fishing Obsessed. I can't think of who we have because I booked them such a long time ago. Do you remember, Wyatt?
I can tell you. Achigan fishing.
Oh, Achigan. Yeah. There we go. We're going to talk more smallmouth fishing indoors. Come on. We're back to back smallmouth.
Shrinko's next week.
There we go. And if you guys have any thoughts of anybody who want to hear on the show, you're like, hey, I love to hear Darren interview this individual and Wyatt interview this individual, go ahead and leave a comment on the podcast or Facebook, or just DM me or write me an email. But hope you guys have a fantastic week. I hope it's not as cold as it is here in Ohio. My goodness, -19 when I woke up this morning. Wild. Why do I live here? I need to go down where you guys live. So, all right, folks, you guys have a good one. See you next week.
Ciao.